Hey guys, Jenna here. Welcome to my channel where I take you on tours of unique and tiny homes. I'm really excited about today's tour because it's super fun. Not only does this woman live in the tiniest wagon you've ever seen, she also shares it with her adorable goat. Yeah, you heard right. I said goat. I'm sure you have a lot of questions about that, just like I did, but don't worry, Kate is going to take us through her tiny wagon and explain how she shares the space with her furry friend. If you like these kind of videos about unique homes and alternative living, please make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you know every time I publish a new video.
Will you join me? Will you roll? Make this house our tiny home.
Hi, I'm Kate. This is my goat Little Leaf, and this is our wagon and full-time home. I got into this lifestyle because I had decided once my daughter went off to college that I wanted to start knocking things off my bucket list, which included hiking the Pacific Crest Trail, the Appalachian Trail, and the Continental Divide Trail. So I got rid of my house and was planning on hiking the majority of each year, and so there was no sense in paying mortgage or rent. I got through 2 of the trails and then COVID hit. So I started searching for something I could live in nomadically. Oh, bless you. I got really lucky when I jumped on Craigslist and came across this wagon. I fell in love with it instantly. Its price range was like $2,500. It's only 800 pounds dry weight and my tow capacity is 1,500 pounds. So it was like serendipitous. And I also just saw the potential and how cute it could be because of its uniqueness and shape. Universe just totally handed it to me. Got really fortunate. I kind of realized right away that there were a lot of things that we were going to have to doctor in order to turn this into like a livable camper. After a good full winter of messing with this thing, I finally got it to the point where I took it on its first excursion. When I started to fix things structurally, it just added up fast. Probably about $6,500 total for where I've got it right now. To me, that's not much. $6,500 for 2.5 years is a really good deal to me and kind of a no-brainer. So how I ended up with Little Leaf was kind of a crazy story. When the pandemic hit and I ended up with the wagon, I needed a place to post while I worked on it. And the place actually was owned by a goat farmer. One of his goats had just had a litter, so I went out to see them and meet them. And there she was, and she has this little white patch on the side that looks like a leaf. And that's kind of how I nicknamed her Little Leaf. 2 days after that, before they were even a week old, he came knocking on the door and was like, hey, do you want to say goodbye? This one's dying. I think it's the one you nicknamed. She couldn't walk. She was limp. She had half her heart rate. I couldn't handle that. I was like, can I try to save her? And he's like, if you want to. So I rushed her to an equine vet. They even told me less than 10% chance she'll make it. And I argued with them. Of course. So what ended up happening in the end is they sent me home with a week's worth of syringes filled with the different medications she would need. I had to give her all kinds of stuff, but you know what? She made it. Now they feature her on their website. Should we go get some raisins? Welcome to the inside of my wagon. We're pushing maybe around 45 square feet. I'm really not sure. We've made a lot of changes to this recently and I'm really excited about it. My wagon has now got power. I have solar panel. It's a huge difference. I've got a few different lighting options in here. If I'm just reading a book, I'll grab this guy. So I'm not using all my power. And then I have some battery powered amethyst lights around there. They're kind of like ambiance. I can feel all fancy.
So speaking of solar, it seems like a good time to talk about this week's sponsor, Fantic. The Fantic EVO 300 power station is perfect for any off-grid adventure. It's lightweight and it's even compact enough to store away in my tiny house or camper. It offers up to 300 watts of output and can power up to 9 devices at one time. I like to use it in my tiny house as an emergency power source. I typically lose power a few times a year, so it's really nice to have the Fantic to plug in my computer, charge my phone, and even power my little refrigerator. I especially love that it has a built-in light, so that eliminates the need for a flashlight. The large LED display readout is really easy to understand. It also has an ultra-long battery life and charges in only 3.5 to 6 hours when paired with the EVO Solar 100 solar panel. For more info on the Fantic EVO 300 and the EVO solar panel, make sure to check out the link in the description. They're currently offering 5% off when you use my link. Thank you, Fantic, for sponsoring this video. It's sponsors like this that help me continue to make high-quality content for you. Now let's get back to Kate and Little Leaf's tour.
I had a really bad roof leak, so I've got a new roof now, which is beautiful, and it's still in the process, needs to be painted. I used to have a big cabinet here that a bear ripped into and just shredded everything. So got rid of that. As you all know, I'm used to living out of a backpack, and I still have like my good old trusty butane stove and stuff here just in case, but I have an awesome new Easy Bake oven. It looks like an Easy Bake oven, but it's really not. But this thing, it's got a coffee pot, it's got a grill on the top. I've made everything from grilled cheese and paninis to my coffee in the morning and toasting things. That's a big upgrade and change for me, a little life of luxury here for me. I actually have a kitchen, which includes a fridge. So to get to my fridge, this has been kind of a learning process, but I'd rather have it and deal with this than not. So what I've done is I've got our main like blanket on this little thin other piece of foam, and what I just do is I fold that back, and then I lift this up, and I've put this piece of material here just to make it slide up and down easier. And then I have kind of like a bread box area, so I've got all my English muffins and all of that. And then the fridge right here, which is slid a little bit. And then, I even have ice cube tray in here, which is really cool. Most of my food actually goes in the shelving or down in here in the bread box in the fridge. So I usually don't buy more than I can fit in my fridge and my bread box. And then like the coffee and spices and all that kind of stuff and snack stuff tend to end up in these shelves here. For water, if I'm out camping in the backcountry with like taking this thing like super off-road, I usually look for creeks and rivers and just stick to my original old way of like filtering water. A lot of times I keep these 2-gallon water bags, and these things are like invincible, and I have 4 of them total. But I have all just the real basics in here because that's all I really need. Underneath I usually have 2 totes, but one busted, so I need to go pick up another. I have summer clothes in one usually and winter clothes in the other, and I just swap them during the season, so I really don't have to get into the bottom one. My shoes go under here. I don't have a whole ton of shoes. I have the basics and what's the most important, including roller skates and bunny slippers. I have a little tiny garbage can and a dustpan in case I need to clean up my huge front porch, which is like a whole foot by 4. And then this side is more of my entertainment and self-care and all of that stuff. We have one box here. So this is my makeup and everything box. It has her brush, her bows in here, which I make her all her bows. I get asked a lot if she's a boy or a girl. So Little Leaf's bows are in here. My 4 pieces of makeup are in here. We go to campgrounds mostly, and it's kind of nice because then I can replenish our water, or wash all my cookware and everything, and really like do a deep clean. And I am a Virgo, so I'm a little OCD when it comes to like cleanliness. That's where I usually shower, is campsites, because I can take her in with me. She usually showers every time I shower because she sleeps with me. I make sure she takes just as many baths. I have a towel, and I just keep the one. Like, I've learned less is more, and I actually do just fine having one of everything. So for the bathroom, I don't have one yet. I use, like, you know, when I stop to get gas, or campgrounds when I stay to go shower and do all that. My plans are to figure out some kind of small composting toilet or portable something that I could do, because I usually camp remotely anyway. That's why this thing's so off-road. I'm not ashamed to go pop a squat in the woods. I'm that kind of girl. The goat will pop a squat anywhere, but she is potty trained, so she knows she's not allowed to go in here. So she just paws at me with her hoof to like go to the door or to go out when she needs to go. I have an umbrella because she thinks she's gonna melt in the rain. I always get asked about sleeping with a goat in here. It's just like sleeping with a dog, really. She actually loves to snuggle. She keeps me pretty toasty when we've had some cold nights. They don't stink like dogs, which is fantastic. Dogs get that smell when they've been outside and come in, so we smell good. It's weird, but it's true. It was a very split of the moment decision to rescue her, and I didn't know anything about goats. So So I had to buy that book, Goats for Dummies, and now I'm a whisperer of goats. I know all thing goat. Oh, that was a good burp. Whew. She got me. Made my eyes water. In the back here, I finally created something to store my feathers in because they're usually everywhere. I am known for my addiction of picking up feathers and collecting feathers. So I stuff them in there now until I make something out of them. So that's constantly fluctuating, and they're just feathers I find on hikes and so forth. Oh, look, a feather. Weird. A lot of the stuff in here too, my followers and subscribers have gifted me. For instance, a subscriber gave me this metal cutout because there's a bird called the mountain lark that kind of goes, and we kept hearing that hiking through the Sierras, and we're all starving, of course. And I said to my fellow hikers, doesn't it sound like it's saying cheeseburger? And they were all so mad at me after that, and everybody thought it was so funny. So a fan gave me this mountain lark cutout, which just reminds me of more trail days. This is the back of my wagon, which is obviously the entrance. I've added these solar lights, which I don't usually travel with them on. They'll literally glow all night long and make a nice little ambiance out here. And we sometimes sit and have our coffee and goat drink. Want some? So what I loved about this wagon, first of all, the gentleman who made it was a little Roma man. He put this cute little scalloping on here and everything. I added the wagon wheels and the roping, and I changed the color of it. He had it like a green and brown, and it just needed to be a little more girly. I kept some of the original because I wanted to be true to him. This is his original window, and then all the little detailed painting I've added. We also reinforced the frame because this was built on a Harbor Freight trailer that was foldable and I didn't want it to be able to fold anymore. So we made it a little more structurally sound. This compartment here, I couldn't bring myself to get rid of it after the bear ripped through here. This used to be a food compartment where I kept all my dry storage for food. But while in Colorado, a bear busted in here and dug out everything and did all this beautiful damage here, which I probably will fix eventually. I painted this map of the US on here to keep track of all the states that the wagon and the goat have been. So I think we're at 30 states now. I'm not 100%, but I could count them. To guesstimate my miles I've put on this wagon is really hard, but I've gone through a lot of tires. But yeah, I run this baby all over the place. Back and forth. There is no method to my madness. It's just madness. Madness and miles. But anyway, just kind of something fun because everybody has those fancy stickers of all the states they've been to. I was like, I'll just paint mine. And I know it's not very proportionate, and I call myself an artist, but this has turned into just an outside cooking area. So eventually I want to get like a little barbecue or something that I could be able to set up out here, and I'll just keep it and store it in the Jeep. This down here is my little garage area. If you peek in here, I have lots of tools and stuff for the goat, her backpack, hiking gear. My plans for the future are there's a space right here on this rack, and there's little hinges back here. I'm going to have a PVC shower so it'll fill up and hold, I think, about 7 to 8 gallons, and then I could stand here and shower. Probably not in public, but you know. So on this side of the wagon, of course, I had to utilize my space for advertising. I have my own YouTube channel, which makes me a fair amount of money to support my hiking and living like this. Just a little painting here for our logo for Little Leaf and I. Obviously her horns have grown and my hair got a lot shorter, mainly because she ate it off. But this side has become just more of an advertisement and also a form of entertainment. These little hooks along here that go all along the top. I actually have a screen for a projector, and I have about 600 movies in there. I just kick back and put up a projection screen when I'm out in the middle of nowhere and I can watch movies. So I've extended the living quarters of my home to also include my Jeep. Maybe not so much living for me, but Little Leaf. And we do store a lot in here. So we've built out a whole wooden structure within the inside of my Jeep. There you go. So when I go to the grocery store or go shopping or anything, she usually hangs out right here. Or when we're on long trips, this goes to a halter so she's safe and can't go through any windows and all of that. And then I am a big kid, so I have even more toys in here. I have a huge bag full of giant kites. I have her life jacket. I have a paddle board. So laundry, I do laundry mats, of course. I don't have room for a washer and dryer, and I'm pretty sure I can't figure that one out yet. So on this side, I have a little extra build out. I got rid of the passenger seat. She can just chill and she knows all her food's down there. You want an apple? Oh, yum. So I keep like her minerals, her probiotics. Goats always have to have baking soda to eat to keep their rumen settled because they actually have multiple stomachs. So they're an interesting animal. But I keep loose leaf hay down here and pellets, and all of her food stuff usually stays down here underneath so she can't get to it. Oh, apple down. So that's kind of the extension of storage and trying to utilize every little bit of space that I have in here. And then the driver's seat is pretty basic. People's opinion of me can vary. You know, there's crazy cat ladies and then there's the goat lady, and I don't think people really know how to scale that. Oh, now she wants to be with me.
Okay, that's fine. What appeal? Oh!
I think there's just a lot of skepticism that this lifestyle is actually what it looks like, because the nomadic lifestyle isn't. Usually a lot of van lifers and stuff is really glorified, and there are a lot of things that just aren't very glorious. But the give and take is totally worth it, and in my eyes, this is a no-brainer and it's a lovely way to live. Are you the sweetest goat ever? Yep.
Thanks for watching this week's tour. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you soon with another tiny or unique home tour.